Hi YouTube fam, today I'm gonna teach you how to turn this boring letter into this using Photoshop. But hold up, this is gonna be fun. I promise you won't need any prior knowledge of Photoshop to follow along. So buckle up and let's head into the land of Photoshop awesomeness. First things first, we need to create a new Photoshop document with size 3000 by 3000 pixels. Next, let's create a solid color fill layer for the background. You can use my color code or experiment with your own. Now, I'm gonna add the text. The font I use for the text is Avocado Sans. You can find the download link in the description. Great, it's time to start the fun part of the photo manipulation. Since the idea is to create a photo manipulation of Antarctica, let's place an icy and snowy landscape image on our Photoshop document. Reduce the opacity of the image and adjust the scale and position. Once you are done, turn the opacity back to 100% and duplicate the layer. We will need only the iceberg from the duplicated layer, so choose any of the selection tools and make a selection around the iceberg. After that, create a layer mask on the layer to extract the iceberg. Nice. Now we need to isolate the second image to the text. We are gonna do that by turning the visibility of the text layer off, then pressing the Ctrl key while clicking on the thumbnail of the text layer to enable a selection. Select the second image layer and create a layer mask to delete all areas outside the selection. Good, but we haven't finished yet. Select the layer mask of the iceberg layer and press Ctrl key while clicking on the mask to make a selection. Head over to the select menu and choose inverse to invert the selection. Using the brush tool, clean the unwanted parts of the iceberg and press Ctrl and D to deactivate the selection. Now create a new layer below the iceberg's layer and rename it as shadows. This layer will be used to create some shadows behind the iceberg. Choose the brush tool and start adding some shadows behind the iceberg. After that, set the blending mode of the layer to multiply. Now let's paint on the layer mask of the background image with black to erase certain parts. Keep on adding the shadows and finally, create a new layer on top of all the layers. Make a selection of the text outline and add more shadows to the bottom of the text. If you've made it to this point, congrats! It's time to add the whale's image. Go to the File menu and place the image of the whale. Adjust the scale and flip it horizontally. Keep on adjusting it till you get it to match the orientation of the text. Create a layer mask on the whale's layer to clean parts of the tail. Make a selection of the text once again in order to clean the tail. To add more realism to the image, let's add some shadows behind the whale. Create a new layer and rename it as Whale's Shadow. Start painting behind the wheel with a soft round brush and a brush fill of 5%. Once you are done, group the wheel and its shadow layer and rename the group as wheel. Repeat the same process for the iceberg's layers and rename them also as iceberg. You can delete the main text layer because we won't be needing it again. Now for the final part, we are gonna add some clouds and birds to our photo manipulation. So create a new layer and rename it as clouds. Select the cloud brush and click above to add the clouds. The assets I used can be downloaded from the link in the description. Make sure that your foreground color is set to white before adding the clouds. After adding the clouds, create another layer and rename this one as birds. Select the bird brush and start clicking with black as foreground color to add the birds. Finally, our image is looking great. The final step is to create some shadows below the whole image. So create a new layer below the iceberg group and rename it as the ground shadows. Using the elliptical marquee tool, draw a circle and fill it with black using Alt plus backspace key. Add a motion blur to the circle and press Ctrl and T to transform the shape. Once it is finished, go ahead and add a Gaussian blur filter to adjust the scale. Finally, adjust the positions of the elements and group all the layers together. And there you go. You have your own very unique photo manipulation. Don't forget to share the links to your creations in the comments below and hit that like button if you loved this tutorial. Keep on inspiring your world with creativity. See you guys soon.